everyone and welcome back. For this video, I figured I was getting a little ahead of myself with some of the videos that I was putting out there, and I thought it might be good to start from the beginning in terms of Greek mythology, going over the creation myth according to the ancient Greeks. So the ancient Greek religion tried to explain how the world began like this. So remember that there was not a lot of knowledge that we have today. So when we're thinking about how people who might not have the same information might interpret the things in the world, they have to make sense of it somehow. So this is how they, as a collective culture, made sense of the things that were happening around them. So chaos was first. Before anything existed, there was a dark nothingness called chaos. Gradually, the shape of Mother Earth emerged from the emptiness and formed the world. Mother Earth produced a son, Uranus, who was the sky. They then had children together. Rain fell from the sky into earth, making plants grow and animals appeared from the rivers and seas. Next, many strangely shaped monsters and giants were born. Among these were three who each had one huge eye in the middle of their forehead and were called Cyclopes, meaning wheeled eye. So I did not know that. I did not realize that. I mean, I knew they were called Cyclopses, right? And I knew what they looked like, and they have one eye, and that kind of is what distinguishes them as a Cyclope. But I did not realize it means wheel-eyed, which might be interesting. Why wheeled eye? What is it about their eye? Is it just because it's in the center of their head? I wonder why wheeled eye. Maybe it's just the way that word has been translated. Maybe it initially meant something that made a little more sense. Anyway, Uranus treated them cruelly and banished them to the underworld. So, not Tartarus. All right, Tartarus is in the underworld, but it's like a section within the underworld. So they're just in the underworld. It doesn't specifically state Tartarus. Later, some human-shaped giants called Titans were born, who became the first gods and goddesses. So the Titans were the OG gods and goddesses. Finally, Mother Earth gave birth to the Golden Race, who lived in an age without trouble or wars. Sadly, they had no children, so the race died, though their spirits lingered on Earth to protect and help people. I'm not familiar with that. I have no idea what the Golden Race is. I have no idea what this section is referring to. They were infertile. They had no children. They had no descendants to carry on this perfect, it sounds like perfect situation. So this was after the Titans were created. So I think I'm going to have to look into more what the Golden Race is. So the revolt of the Titans. So the Golden Race is gone. We still have the Titans at this point. Mother Earth could not forgive Uranus for his treatment of her first children. So remember, the Cyclopes were her first children. And encouraged the Titans, led by Kronos, to rebel. He attacked and overcame Uranus with a sickle and took power. So I remember reading this story, and I don't know that they're going to go into, I don't think they go into detail here. It's not a pretty picture. Overthrowing the Titans, highly graphic. I would not recommend it unless you have a strong stomach if you know, you know. But you need a strong stomach to read about that. 3 drops of Uranus's blood fell onto the earth and formed Uranes, or Fury. These were spirits of revenge with a dog's head and bat's wings. I did not know they had a dog's head. I assumed it was a bird. I assumed they had a bird head, but they must have dog's heads and bat's wings. They hounded murderers, and especially those who killed a relative. So, murder, not great. Killing a family member, more not great. So, that's an important detail, I feel like, for later things. Another drop fell into the sea, creating foam, which the goddess Aphrodite was born. So that's how Aphrodite was born. So that is the beginning of the creation myths. There's going to be more in regards to Zeus coming in with the Olympians, but so far, from what I've understood, is there was nothing and then there was chaos. Chaos created Mother Earth, and then they had Uranus, and then Mother Earth had the Cyclopes, which were not treated great, the Titans, which prevailed, the Golden Race, which ended up becoming non existent, and then the Titans revolted against Uranus, and now the Titans reign supreme. So that is where we are so far in the creation mythology. If there's any tidbits of fun information that you would like to share or clarify for me, there were some things I did not know about the golden race at all. That is going to need to be its own separate topic. The Furies, I didn't realize came on this early in terms of the chronological events in Greek mythology. I kind of assumed that they came on later. I think it's interesting that the fates have not been discussed at this point. So I wonder when they came about. But if there's anything else, other topics besides this that you would like to know more about, please let me know. I plan on going through everything that's in this particular book that I'm doing readings from. So let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe if this is something that you're interested in. This channel mainly focuses on reading related things, but I am going to be doing a spurt of mythology. I have done a few videos related to Scottish mythology. If that is something you are interested in, I can continue with that. I am delving back into Greek mythology because it has been a while since I have done any research, any investigating on different things in Greek mythology. And I do think it's nice to go back, at a different stage of my life with a different mind frame, different perspective to see how I feel about these stories as a middle-aged adult. I turned 30 this month, actually, so arguably people could consider this midlife, although I thought that was your 50s. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but I am much older, obviously, than when I was a teenager reading these things. So, considering I'm a mother now, I have different responsibilities, seeing how I view these stories differently. But I'd love to hear from you. Remember, have fun, be safe, and I'll catch you next time.